The Houston Astros are back home for the first of a 6-game homestand. 4 with the Mariners, 2 with the Colorado Rockies. Tonight they open up a 4-game series with Seattle. The Astros with the off day yesterday, coming off a great road trip. They lost the first game in Seattle, then won 6 of the next 7. In the process, they took a 3-game lead over the Mariners up to 8. And they also lead the Oakland A's by 5 games as we look at the updated AL West standings. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum. Glad you could join us for a night of Astros baseball. And Blummer, it's more than a trend now that the Astros have played better on the road than at home, but hopefully they can carry some of that momentum after a really good trip.
It has been a fantastic trip. They didn't put up great numbers on the road, but just enough to win. Hopefully that does carry over at home because I'm unpacked and actually got some laundry done.
That is a good thing. And so is Justin Verlander, who gets the start tonight in the first game of this homestand. And you've got the right guy on the mound tonight if you're looking for a win for the Astros.
No, his peripherals are great, but all of his own numbers stand out by themselves. He has been the leader of this rotation since he has become a Houston Astro, and he's been lighting it up as far as numbers are concerned. Back in 2011, he won the Cy Young and the MVP with those numbers that you see at the top. He is on pace to have some better numbers than he did that season, already ahead of that pace with the 204 strikeouts. The ERA is better by a couple of points, and if he can continue to go out and do what he's done here in recent weeks, that ERA should drop even more.
Verlander having the best season of his career at age 35. The trouble for Verlander tonight is he is matched up with a very tough opponent who's been very good against the Astros.
Yeah, within the division, James Paxton against the Astros have been their kryptonite. He has phenomenal numbers against them as opposed to what the other guys in the rotation are doing. In 3 starts, a .87 ERA. The strikeouts have been racked up. But you see what the Astros do. As soon as this guy gets off the bump and face another starter, that's when the numbers jump up a little bit. I would like to see the Astros get that pitch count up early, get into the bullpen, and maybe do some damage.
So the Astros kick off this homestand in just a little while. The Astros coming off a phenomenal road trip, taking 2 out of 3 in Seattle, 2 out of 3 in LA, and then sweeping the 2 games in San Fran. There were a lot of high fives and fun being had by the Astros on the road. by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Karbach Brewing. Crack open a cold one. Crack open a Karbach. Proudly brewed in Texas. Tonight, Justin Verlander goes for a magical number. Win number 200 in his scopes against the Mariners as we roll on.
Left field, all the way back, span at the wall, gone! A lot of green acreage up here, and he put the lumber to that one.
Here's a line drive into center field for a base hit. Maldonado scores easily, and Jake Marisnic's going to score as well. Springer gives the Astros a 2-1 lead. Strikeout number 200, getting Max Muncy swinging. He got him! Verlander strikes out Peterson. That is 14 strikeouts, matching his career high. What a night for Justin at Dodger Stadium.
Marwin hits one deep to left field. Back goes Hernandez, looking up, gone! The Astros down to their last out. Hit a 3-run home run. This ball sent to left field, high in the air and deep. All the way back, Slater at the wall, gone! Tyler White has hit a 2-run home run. Shark attack here in the Bay.
Get out and play, presented by Toyota. That was quite a road trip for the Houston Astros. A 6-2 trip, and now back home for a 6-game homestand with a first of 4 against Seattle. And Justin Verlander looking for career win number 200 on the mound tonight.
Great guy to have on the mound, matched up with James Paxton, especially to open up the 6-game homestand against a division rival. In 24 starts this season, Justin has 11 wins. He is sitting on 199 career. That is third active behind CC Sabathia and Bartolo Colon. He has a chance to jump into the lead for innings pitched and strikeouts this season. 204 strikeouts this season and 156 in the third innings pitched.
Well, here's who Justin Verlander will face for the Seattle Mariners tonight, with Mitch Haniger leading things off. A little different lineup for Scott Service as he shakes it up. D. Gordon had been the leadoff hitter for all 99 of his starts this year, but he's now in the 9 spot. Denard Span bats second. Gene Segura is the number 3 hitter. Nelson Cruz has been on a roll lately. He is in the cleanup spot as the DH. Kyle Seager at first base batting 5th. Mike Zunino behind the plate. Ryan Healy's at first base, and the former Astro, Cameron Maben, playing with his 7th team, just acquired by Seattle when the Astros last saw this team up in the Pacific Northwest. Seattle winning that first game of that 3-game series at Safeco Field. At that time, they were only 3 games behind the Astros with 2 more games to go in that series. And you were wondering, where do the Astros stand at the end of this series? Are they going to be up 1, up 3? Well, they ended up winning the next 2 to go up 5, and now they're up 8 on Seattle.
It's a good thing. That's why they play within the division, is to try and get those guys, push them down a little bit. But it's been an interesting time for the Seattle Mariners. Through the 5th of July, they were 56-32. Since then, 9-18. It has been a bit of a downward spiral, and they are waiting for Robinson Cano to come off that suspension list.
Cano will be eligible to play again for Seattle after this series. This is basically a make or break week, if you will, for Seattle. They're 3 games behind the A's for the second wild card spot, and after they play the Astros for 4, they will head to Oakland to play the A's for 3. Mitch Haniger leading things off. New look in this Mariners lineup, and Verlander starts Haniger off with a strike. Haniger normally in a run driving in opportunity spot in that lineup. He has 72 runs batted in, tied for 6th in the American League.
We've got StatCast AI powered by AWS, and you can see why early on they are in extreme shift mode against Mitch Haniger. 9% of the time it is going the other way. That's why Tyler White is on that island on the right side.
This ball is drilled to left field and deep, and it is gone. The Mariners start this series off with a home run to left field off the bat of Mitch Haniger, his 19th of the season. There's now 7 home runs allowed by Verlander in his last 3 home starts.
Last time Justin Verlander gave up a home run to lead off a ball game, he ended up striking out 14, and that was the only run he gave up. That was back in LA. But on our MD Anderson strike zone, we talked about Mitch Haniger pulling the baseball. You could see him bent over at the waist, really going out there to get that pitch on the outside corner. Guessed right, got the barrel out front, launched it off some of the signage out there in left field.
Haniger had been 0 for 8 with 4 strikeouts prior to that home run against Verlander. This guy had not had much success against JV, whereas the guy at the plate, Denard Span, has 386 career mark against Verlander. Fans still settling into their seats, and the Mariners out quickly 1-0. Defense behind Justin Verlander. Tony Kemp gets a start tonight in right field. Marwin Gonzalez in left, and Jake Marisnick is in center. J.D. Davis and Alex Bregman on the left side. Bregman's 12th straight start at shortstop. Yuli Gurriel and Tyler White on the right side, and behind the plate, Martin Maldonado. Two and 1 the count to Span. Denard playing in his 55th game of the year with Seattle. Traded at the end of May from the Tampa Bay Rays, where he played 43 games. 2-2 the count. Start before the All-Star break, Verlander gave up 4 home runs, matching up with his former team for the first time. And after the Tigers got him for 4 home runs, his 1 start in the break since the break at home, he gave up a couple of home runs in that game against Texas. So in 11 innings plus this first inning in his last 3 home starts, Verlander's allowed 7 of his home runs. That's 7 of the 20 on the year. 2-2 the count to Span. Take that as 3-2 now. Ground, fair ball down the right field line, headed towards the corner. Back-to-back extra base hits for the Mariners. Span thinking about 3. Kemp digs it out of the corner, and Denard goes into third standing. A home run followed by a triple.
Denard did a good job of hitting a mistake from Justin Verlander. On our matches from Supermo, you see the four-seam fastball. Maldonado wants it on the outside corner, yanks it to the inside, and Span just drops the head on it. Pretty mundane ground ball, but with Tyler White well off the line, it gets down into that right field corner.
Astros bringing the infield in here early with Verlander versus Paxton. A couple of runs could be huge in this one. And Gene Segura takes a pitch upstairs for ball one. Segura batting .305, leads the team in hits with 134. Finally caught Jose Altuve, tied for fourth in the American League. Segura has been struggling lately. Saw those numbers recently. Beginning of July, hitting around .220. Missed the fastball. It's 1-2.
Good job staying on the inside corner. You get a real good idea of what the game plan is against Segura. It's get in on the hands. Don't let him get extended.
Verlander's first start against Seattle this season. His third as an Astro. In the air to right field. Kemp going back, still going back, and this one will one hop over the wall. A home run, a triple, and now a double. The Mariners out quickly on Verlander tonight. It's 2-0.
It's the first off-speed pitch we've seen from Justin in this ball game, and Segura stayed on it and went the other way. You can almost see that little bit of a dot that's created with that spin. Tony was playing shallow.
Mariners with 2 runs after 3 batters. Verlander's first 2 starts against the Mariners with the Astros allowed a combined 2 runs in 13 innings. Here's Nelson Cruz. Cruz swings and misses. Nelson playing his 100th game, has been hot lately. 4 home runs in his last 7 and 8 in his last 13. Swings through that pitch. It's 0-2. There's a base hit into left center field. Segura rounds third. He will score. And in the first inning, after 4 batters, the Mariners have hit for the cycle.
In reverse.
In reverse order.
Wow.
Home run, triple, double, single. First 4 batters of this night.
Never seen that before. Never even heard about it. It's a heck of a way to start a ball game for the Seattle Mariners. They've been right on everything that Justin has gone out there with.
Seattle coming off a series against the Rangers where they lost the last 2. Texas taking 2 out of 3, scoring 11 runs in each of those last 2 games. But the Mariners swinging it early tonight. Here's Kyle Seager. Takes a pitch outside for ball 1. Verlander coming in with an opponent batting average against of 193. The Mariners 4 for 4 tonight. Last time he faced Seattle, only allowed 3 hits the whole game in 7 innings of work. That was the clinching game here at Minute Maid Park last year as the Astros wrapped up the West on September 17th. Seager good numbers against Verlander as Justin checks first. Kyle is .320 in his career with 3 home runs against Verlander. Astros did not see Seager in that last series in Seattle as he missed the 3 games on paternity leave. Outside 2-1.
Next pitch will be number 20 in this inning for Justin Verlander.
Still looking for an out. If you would have said 3 runs or less would be scored in this game, I would say, yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
Instead, there's 3 runs on the board after 4 batters. This is not what AJ Hinch or the rest of the fans here at Minute Maid Park were expecting to see early in this one. Now back, it's 2-2.
They're taking really good swings off Justin early on, too. I want to say that Justin's throwing bad pitches and making mistakes, and they're just getting hits, but they've done a good job of hitting a couple of pitchers' pitches. So, got to give some credit to the Seattle Mariners.
Swing and a miss, gets Kyle Seager. First out of the inning is the first strikeout for Verlander.
Baseball's a crazy game, isn't it? The one guy that has very good numbers against him makes the first out in the inning. Good breaking ball. You can see the spin breaking downward, creating that swing and miss effort.
We'll bring up Mike Zunino. Zunino coming off a 2 home run game last night. Had a good series against the Rangers, going 5 for 8 with 3 home runs. Astros down 3 to the Mariners with James Paxton on the mound. He's allowed 2 runs all year in 3 starts against Houston. So a little daunting first inning for the Houston Astros as Verlander allowing hits to the first 4 batters.
Isn't that how it usually goes? You pump the pitching duel, then all of a sudden the offenses break out.
Swing and a miss is 2-1. Last time Justin pitched with those 14 strikeouts, pitched into the 8th inning, 2 outs into the 8th. He needed 105 pitches despite all those strikeouts.
It's not a bad pitch right there. See if MD Anderson agrees with me. Just on that top portion. Usually that face mask of the catcher is usually the top portion of the zone. Just to give you something to give you a little bit of bearing where the top part of that zone might be.
Zunino may have left the zone there. It's 3-2.
I was going to say, after you take that pitch previously and that pitch isn't called, you might want to eliminate that top third of the zone. Challenge the pitcher to get back in the zone, but Zunino knew he was getting a fastball in that situation and attacked.
Zunino still looking for his first hit of his career against Verlander. He's 0 for 10. Strike three called. Zunino takes the call, third strike. Back-to-back strikeouts for Verlander, 2 outs in the inning.
Tricked him, just firing a fastball right down the pipe. One thing we've learned in watching Justin Verlander in an Astros uniform is that he will challenge you with the fastball. Not sure what Zunino was looking for right there.
It was an unusual last 3 pitches.
Yeah,
take a close one that's called a ball, swing one higher than that, and take one that's the best of all. Works out for the Astros. Here's Ryan Healy. Healy's never faced Verlander before as he fouls one out of play. Well, hopefully the Mariners got all their hitting out of their system in 4 batters. The reverse cycle. Homer, triple, double, single, then strikeout, and now Verlander ahead of Healy 0-1.
That was amazing to see that happen.
Reverse cycle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I ever remember it. Certainly not to start a game. Possibly at some point. Here's a little pop-up beyond short. Bregman calling everybody off and makes the play. After the first 4 batters made it 3-0, Justin settles in. Airlines for the 5th time this year. Alex Bregman will be the leadoff hitter, followed by Marwin Gonzalez playing left field. Yulin Gurriel hits third. Evan Gattis back in there as the DH, followed by Tyler White at first base. J.D. Davis at third. Martin Maldonado bats 7th and catches. Jake Marisnick in center. And Tony Kemp bats 9th and plays right.
Left-hander James Paxton going for the Seattle Mariners. 22 starts this season, 9-5 record. He is another guy who is on that top 10 list with 170 strikeouts. But that number across the bottom is the big one. 3-0 with a .87 ERA against Houston. This will be his 13th career start against Houston, and in his career he has a 2.59 ERA.
He has been as good as anybody against the Astros the last couple of years, as Alex Bregman will dig in there. Astros have not been able to solve Paxton, but need to score some runs tonight, down 3-0. Paxton misses outside with a first fastball to Alex. Alex reached in every game on that road trip and extended his road streak to 36 games. Overall, he has reached in 68 of the last 70. And there's a ball into center field for a base hit. That's the way to come right back on Paxton and the Mariners. Bregman will lead off base runner.
What are you going to do if Marwin hits a double?
Start to get excited.
Yeah, right. Great piece of hitting by Alex again. Wants a fastball in the zone, something he can get the barrel to, gets it, and goes right back up the middle with it. Good start for the Astros, trying to answer back. It was an excellent look at a guy recognizing fastball and very good barrel command.
Here's Marwin coming off a fantastic road trip. Marwin hit 4 home runs, 3 of them right-handed, and hit 300 during the trip. Takes a pitch for a ball. It's 1-0. Had one of the biggest hits of the season in that win against San Francisco on Monday when he hit a 3-run home run. The Astros down to their final out of the 9th inning. Turned a 1-0 potential loss into a 3-1 victory. There's a called strike. This is the team that Marwin has always hit well against, the Seattle Mariners.
That's where you got that right-handed home run streak going on the road was against Wade LeBlanc in Safeco Field. A little bit different style from James Paxton.
Marwin pops one up on the infield. Segura, the shortstop, barely has to move. Puts it away for out number 1. I'll bring up Yuli. Yuli coming into the game batting .286. Has struggled in his career against Paxton, 3 for 19. Seventh career start for Paxton here at Minute Maid Park. Second time this year. His other 2 starts have been on the road for the Astros, at home for Paxton. Job by Yuli. Taking that pitch, it's 2-1. Fastball comes in 95, 96. The cutter around 89, and he'll drop that curve in around 81 miles an hour. Into center field, Maven on the move. Cameron knows this stadium pretty well, puts it away for out number 2. Good to see Evan Gattis back in the lineup. Evan hasn't started since the last game in Seattle on the 1st of August. National League rules keeping Gattis out of the game other than a pinch hitter. Evans' 100th game of the season. Takes a pitch for ball 1.
You wonder how long it's going to take for Evan to get his timing back. Yes, there were a couple of pinch hit appearances in there, but that consistent AB where you're seeing pitches, you got to face a guy like James Paxton. Gave him a little extra time to let that beard grow out.
With those 5 games off, the 3 in LA, the 2 in San Francisco, and when you combine the fact that Evans not catching for the first time in his career, he probably feels about as good as he could possibly feel in the month of August this year compared to others.
That's a great point. Doesn't happen too often where you get into August and you say, man, I actually have my legs under me, my arms feel good.
Evan pops this one foul. Ryan Healy gives it a look, and it's 3 rows deep. Healy happy to be indoors tonight. Left the game yesterday in Texas with a heat-related illness. Mariners struggled in that series against the Rangers, and the Astros hoping to keep them down, but they start out with a 3-run first in the first 4 hitters. Rangers had 19 hits yesterday against Seattle pitching. But different story today with Paxton on the mound. Unusual to see Justin Verlander give up 3 in a start, let alone 3 after 4 batters.
Yeah, but you know, with Justin out there, there's also the opportunity. He shuts him down the rest of the way. That's good AB by Evan. The more pitches Evan sees in his first AB, I bet makes his next 2-3 ABs that much better too.
Paxton brought that last one to the plate at 97 miles an hour. Swing and a miss. Paxton strikes out Gaddis to end the first. Leadoff hit by Bregman. 1 man left on base.
Two starts against the Mariners. Last season as an Astro turned out to be pretty good. First one was his debut. The second one was a Western Division clinching game. 13 innings pitched, 17 strikeouts, and only 2 walks. Getting off to a rough start here, but he's got great numbers and some momentous games. He'd like to turn today's game into 200.
That'd be nice, one of 3 active pitchers, if he gets there to reach that total. From the 112th pitcher in Major League history to get to 200. Justin with an early deficit, 3-0. He's had 14 starts against Seattle since he last allowed more than 3 earned runs against this team. All the way back to the 2010 season with the Tigers on May 25th. He allowed 5 earned runs against Seattle. His last 5 starts against the Mariners combined 3 earned runs allowed. Ground ball on 2 hops. Bregman makes the play for out number 1. Cameron Maybin is retired. Maybin and Verlander acquired on the same day last year, the trade deadline of August. Have to clear waivers, but you have to also be on the roster before September 1 to be postseason eligible, and both those guys made contributions down the stretch. Here's D. Gordon batting in the number 9 spot for the first time all year. He's been a leadoff hitter 99 of 99 starts. Astros bring the corners in. Always a threat for D to put a bunt down. Gordon 2 for 14 on this trip. Astros play him in on the corners on the infield and swung around the other way in the outfield. 2-0 the count. Marisnik in left center and Marwin close to the line and left.
J.D. Davis at third has 2 plays, the bunt and self-preservation.
Ball hit towards Marwin, who is back near the track. On the track, puts it away. Gordon flies out for out number 2.
This week on Astros Bases Loaded, Julia is California dreaming as she reminisces with AJ at Dodger Stadium. Shows off McCovey Cove and AT&T Park and preps for her Legends race in Oakland. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded tomorrow at 6 p.m. only on AT&T Sportsnet.
That Legends race will be coming up next road trip.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's more nervous about their Legends appearance, her or me.
Blummer on Sunday, in case you haven't heard, noon, home run derby. Make sure you're here early for that game against the Mariners. Jeff Blum, Craig Biggio, Preston Wilson, Luke Scott all hitting against Javier Bracamonte in a home run derby.
Bracamonte is one of the best BP throwers I've ever had in my career.
Have you decided lefty or righty?
I'm going lefty. My golf swing right-handed's pretty good, but that Crawford box is so appealing.
Like you thought about righty.
Oh yeah, there's Javier. Yeah, I've thought about right-handed. Oh yeah, and I may change my mind. You never know.
0-2 the count to Haniger. Verlander has retired 5 in a row after the first 4 reach base. Haniger got it started with a home run on a 1-1 pitch. That should be a fun contest.
Oh, it's going to be a good time no matter what. Preston's a character. Biz is a character.
That ball smoked to left center field, and this ball is one hopping against the fence, rattles around there in the corner, and Jake plays it back in. Oh, Haniger's hit the ball well twice tonight against Verlander. The guy who had no success against Justin prior to tonight.
And he's just getting out over the plate and covering the fastball. Mitch Haniger is against Verlander. You can see down and away is the call, but Haniger going out there to that outside corner again, getting around it and pulling it.
When Haniger hit that home run his first time up, Mariners haven't had leadoff hitters like George Springer at the top of their lineup. It was their first leadoff home run since Nori Aoki did it May 25th 2 years ago. Lee Gordon has 1 home run of the year. It's not a leadoff home run. George does it so often. That's a somewhat surprising stat to hear.
Yeah.
But they haven't had one in over 2 years. Denard Span takes a pitch for a ball. Good news with George here that everything's going well with that thumb injury. Gripping the bat well, and hopefully we'll see him.
He's already doing that. That's great.
Yep.
That's great news.
Gripping the bat well, and that's oh, there's a pickoff. Mitch Haniger caught leaning, and they're going to call a balk. Home plate umpire Nick Lentz is going to call a balk on Justin.
I'm not sure how the home plate umpire has this call.
AJ's going to come out and have a word for Nick Lentz. The pickoff at second base is overturned by a balk call by the home plate umpire.
Tell you what, Justin Verlander's showing pretty good restraint. He's saying that the home plate umpire, Nick Lentz, is saying that he stepped towards third. Now, he didn't clear completely all the way around. But instead of being a pickoff, it is now a runner at third base on the balk call. In all fairness, I've seen worse not called.
Here's Span. Span fouls one away. It's 1-1. So we've got a lot of injury updates for you. Jose Altuve, hopefully they'll get him out on the field this weekend and test that knee. Hey, the arrow to Carlos Correa expected back in the lineup tomorrow. Chris Davinsky threw a bullpen, and he's trending towards coming back soon. Lance McCullers Jr. will probably not see him until September.
That's okay. You want to protect that arm, make sure that he's right before he comes back and doesn't do any further damage. It's always kind of iffy when you talk about pitchers' elbows. But it was kind of interesting to hear how he hurt it too.
I said that forearm injury came from batting.
Yep.
In that Dodger series. Grounded out to short in his first at bat of that start. Said that's where he first felt it. Lance normally would be behind Justin Verlander in the rotation, but tomorrow, with the off day yesterday, Garrett Cole will pitch on his normal rest. And he will slot into Lance's spot.
Yeah, the timing of it's interesting, just with the month of August having so many days off worked in there. We really don't have to move too many pieces around in that rotation.
This ball's hit really well to right field, and Span has connected on a 2-run home run. The Mariners have scored 5 in the first 2 innings off Justin Verlander, who came in with an ERA of 2.19.
2-out lightning from Denard Span. First 2 ABs, triple and a home run. 4-seam fastball. Span gets the head out. Mariners brought their hitting shoes.
Span continues to hit well against Verlander in his career. Now 19 for 46. A couple of triples and a home run. Well, that pickoff at second would have looked nice now. Instead, it's 5-0. Segura fouls one back. It's 1-1. First 4 guys in the Mariners lineup 6 for 6 tonight, with 2 doubles, 2 home runs, a triple, and a single. Segura with one of those doubles. One and 2 the count. 5 earned runs allowed by Verlander, matches the most he's ever allowed in 24 previous career starts against the Mariners. .50 pitches already in the second inning. That ball's hit well to left field, and this ball's going to be gone. 3rd home run of this game for the Mariners. Top 4 in the lineup continuing to do damage. Segura now with a double and a home run. It is 6-0 Seattle.
I'm just as stunned as everybody else. We've seen Justin be so amazing all year long, but some of these pitches not getting to the point where he wants them to be.
That is 9 home runs allowed in his last 3 starts at Minute Maid Park.
It's going to bring Brent Strom out, and the bullpen is going to start to scramble.
Justin had allowed only 19 home runs all year prior to the start, but they have come in bunches here in his last 3 home starts. Brad Peacock warming up. Just beginning to throw some pitches here. 4 home runs allowed to his former team, the Tigers, a couple of home starts ago, right before the All-Star break.
There's a little bit of a conversation between home plate umpire Nick Lentz and Justin Verlander. You can see him mouthing the word "just stop." But I think given the situation, Justin Verlander can go ahead and let him have it if he wants to. But according to some of the numbers I have, in 48 pitches, he's thrown 36 fastballs. That is heavy on the fastball for Justin Verlander.
Segura's 9th of the year makes it 6-0, and here's Nelson Cruz, who leads the team with 30 home runs. He singled in a run his first time up. One the count. Davis plays it off. A couple of bounces foul. It's 1-2. First time this season, and the first time in his Astros career, Verlander has allowed 6 earned runs in a start. His previous high 5 earned runs allowed in his final start in the month of June against Tampa Bay on the road, and then 5 earned runs against his former team right before the All-Star break. Did allow 6 runs in that start, but 5 of them were earned. This ball backhanded by JD. Long throw to be in time to get Nelson Cruz for the final out of the inning. Damage done by the top of the lineup yet again as the Mariners put up 3 more and lead at 6-0.
Francisco series on Tuesday. Talked to him after this game, and he said the first couple of fastballs from Ray Black were pretty explosive, but he did a great job of making the adjustment. And throughout that road trip, we really saw some big swings, some timely hitting. We're not going to see that Astros offense overwhelm guys like we do when that strong core is in there. But Tyler White came up big, much like Marwin did. And back here, AJ's giving probably a little bit of a lesson in decorum on the field, especially in handling his ace.
Joe West, the crew chief, tried to come in and break it up. AJ said, I have a little discussion. I'd like to be a one-on-one discussion here, if you don't mind. And Joe headed back towards second base, and AJ has had his say.
Well done, too. We say so many things about AJ and what he does well, but he also is a very good communicator, especially when he's trying to get across his point to help protect his players.
Tyler White leads off for the Astros, down 6-0 bottom half of the second inning. Big mountain to climb tonight against a very tough left-hander, and Paxton delivers a strike. It's 0-1. Well, the Mariners have done something tonight that they normally don't do, facing Justin Verlander, so maybe the Astros can turn the favor on Paxton. White down to the count, 0-2.
What do we think? Just setting him up, giving that false sense of hope, and then put a couple of big swings on him and get back in this thing.
White had the biggest swing of all that we just showed you in that final game of the road trip. Connecting on a 2-run home run, his 4th of the year. Astros didn't have much offense going at all in that series in San Francisco, but it was 2 big swings, a 3-run home run by Marwin Gonzalez and the 2-run home run by Tyler White that provided the mini sweep. Outside, it's 1-2.
Yeah, Bruce Bochy's Giants gave him 2 very good starts from Derek Rodriguez and Madison Bumgarner. A couple of quality guys out of the bullpen they beat too.
Beat Will Smith, the closer, on Monday, and then took care of Ray Black the next day, who had not allowed any hits all year long to a right-hand hitter before the home run by White. Tyler fouls one away. Paxton's been tougher on right-hand hitters this year than lefties, and that's kind of been his MO in his career. This year it's a little more pronounced. Righties hitting only 200. Lefties hitting 304. But in his career, lefties with a higher OPS, 728 compared to 632 for righties.
It's pretty impressive. Reverse splits, but still giving up plenty of home runs to right-handers, but not much else.
Breaking ball misses, and Tyler White, another deep count, 3-2.
That was a tough pitch to lay off. Looked pretty good for a long time. Could have got rung up on it.
Little pop-up behind second. D. Gordon is there, puts it away for out number 1.
Our Best in Texas Power Pitcher is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Justin Verlander, James Paxton, their primary pitch is that fastball. Comes in there at a pretty good clip. Also, we know Justin can get into the upper 90s. We've seen a pitch today already from James Paxton at 97. But today was a very aggressive fastball day for Justin. Didn't go as planned. But in order for James Paxton to have a very good slider and a very good curveball, he's got to be aggressive with that fastball in the zone.
75% fastballs tonight so far from JV. Even though that fastball usage has been up lately since the All-Star break, that seems a little extreme. That was the game plan going in, was attack early with a fastball. It just hasn't worked out to this point. JD down in the count, 0-2.
There you can see the primary use of that fastball is to stay above that line with the heater staying up and in. But then it's the off speed down to get the swing over the top. Much like we talk about with the Houston Astros pitching staff with the fastball elevated. Change that eye level, maybe you get some chase. There you go.
Now, Paxton continues to throw that high fastball with more frequency, and it seems like the more he throws it in his career, the more success he has had with it. Fastball average for right-hand hitters this year down to 217. He's throwing that pitch up in the zone 38% of the time. That one misses low. It's 2-2. JD trying to snap an 0 for 10 overall in the year. He's 15 for 82. Mentioned Carlos Correa coming back tomorrow. The Astros have to make a corresponding roster move. Never an easy night for guys that have been on the train back and forth between Fresno and Houston, knowing a roster move has to happen tomorrow. Now the count's 3-2, back-to-back full counts. If nothing else, the Astros are making Paxton work this inning. He's had to throw 14 pitches already to the first two batters of this inning. Swing and a miss. Paxton able to come back and get a strikeout. That's his second strikeout. 2 outs in the second.
And to the point of our graphic, the strikeout with the fastball up in the zone. It's a tough pitch to lay off. You pick it up early, think you can catch up to it. But at that velocity, it's incredibly tough to get the barrel on top. Or just get the hands on top.
Martin Maldonado. Maldonado 1 for 6 with 4 strikeouts against Paxton. Takes a called strike. The one good thing about Martin coming over to the Astros is he hasn't really had to figure out a new division as he's faced these pitchers in his career with the Angels. Also helps him out when he's dealing with putting the signs down with Seattle in town. Seattle, Oakland, and the Angels in the next road trip. It'll be a little homecoming for Martin since the trade. Pitch inside for a ball. 2-1. Paxton making his 23rd start of the year. Last year was his career high in starts at the big league level, 24. Battling numerous injuries throughout his career that have not allowed him to throw a lot of innings in one season. Maldonado fouls one out of play. Whereas Justin Verlander has reached 200 innings or more in 10 of his last 11 seasons. Paxton's career high in innings pitched was last year at 136. Should eclipse that tonight, just needs 3 innings of work. '29-year-old lefty with a 2-2 count. And Maldonado grounds one to third on a couple of hops. Seager makes the throw across for the final out of the inning. After a leadoff hit by Bregman, 6 in a row retired by Paxton. over. We're going to talk about the rest of this weekend because tonight hasn't gone so smoothly so far.
Yeah.
But Brianna Hughes is here, and Brianna, we have a lot going on this weekend.
We do. It's our Legends
Bring us some
weekend.
good news.
I will do my best. No pressure.
No,
Jeez.
none at all.
I feel it. No, it's our Legends weekend presented by Houston Methodist, which is always a really fun weekend for our fans and even for our alumni who used to play with us. And so all weekend we're going to be celebrating our history and just being able to do a nod to the rich history of the organization and bring some of these guys back.
It's cool because Legends Weekend presented by Houston Methodist has a lot of former players from different eras all coming back.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, starting with the Colt 45s, we've got Jimmy Wynn, we've got Durker here, Bob Aspermani, all the way through, to recent players. So Brandon Backey, just really, really great players that are coming back. So kind of doing the whole scope of the history here.
Very cool. Friday night, tomorrow night, a big and bright Friday night. A lot going on, as always. A little 70s theme.
Yeah, I hope you guys play the part tomorrow. I'm excited to see what your outfits are. But we're encouraging our fans that are coming to the ballpark tomorrow to dress up in their 70s gear as we turn back the clock. So the Mariners will be wearing their 1979 jerseys. The Astros will be wearing the 1979 jerseys. And it should be just a fun theme night, which will conclude with Friday night fireworks with 70s music. So just an all-in-all really fun theme night that fans can enjoy if they're coming up to the ballpark. And if you're coming out, we've got a really awesome replica jersey giveaway, the George Springer Rainbow Replica jersey that is presented by Houston Methodist. So 10,000 fans will get that as they come into the gates on Friday, tomorrow. So get here early.
This should bring good vibes tomorrow because the Astros usually hit pretty good with these rainbow jerseys on.
We do. And this was inspired from the Sports Illustrated cover that that had Springer on it. So after we won last year, we thought it might be fun to kind of do a nod to that and bring that back. So, and that was actually against the Mariners in Seattle. So.
Believe it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a really popular item.
I agree. Yeah, and they're great quality. All extra larges, but 10,000 fans will get that as they come through the doors.
So that'll be tomorrow, and then special Friday night fireworks to follow as well. And then Saturday's a big night too. Seager sends one to center field. Jake going back on it will have a play for the first out.
Yeah, so Saturday we've got our Carlos Beltran bobblehead. It's a nod to him in his retirement and just kind of the way he carried us as a veteran in the postseason last year. And so 10,000 fans will get that. That's presented by Houston Methodist as they're coming into the ballpark. So it's exciting to have him and have him be a big part of our history, but then also, most recently, even last year. So this one was a fun one to do and just kind of commemorate a different, unique time in history.
No, he set all kinds of records in that 04 postseason and then finally came back and got the ring where he deserved to get it.
Exactly.
And then the alumni will be recognized before the game Saturday?
Yeah, so fans that are looking to kind of see the alumni, this is a really great chance to catch them on the field. So all of the alumni that are in attendance tomorrow or on Saturday will be recognized pregame. We'll have about 30 to 35 of them here in attendance. So it should be a really great little tribute to the guys that have made up a lot of our history.
So that's tomorrow, and then after the game, a little after party?
Yeah, on Saturday. So after party in the Budweiser Brew House. This is a really fun way to kind of just like wind down after the game. We open up the bar and it's $6 draft beers. We've got live music, we've got trivia, we've got games. So fans can check that out immediately after the last out and hang out with us for about an hour until traffic dies down or you just want to kind of hang out and have another beer.
2-2 the count to Mike Zunino facing Brad Peacock. We're joined by Brianna Hughes. So that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Home run derby.
Warming up. I've already taken 6 Advil today.
That's your warm-up routine.
That's going to be my warm-up. Yeah, you better believe it.
Home run derby.
Yeah,
Legends home run derby.
Yeah, the first ever Legends home run derby, and we're really excited about it. This was a concept that President Reed Ryan came to us and was really excited about it, and we've jumped on board, and it's going to be fun bringing out Jeff and Craig Biggio and Luke Scott and Preston Wilson to kind of compete and see what they got.
Oh, you're going to get a real good visual on what we've got left in the tank, yeah.
I'm really excited.
There's a lot of pressure on Bracamani to hit our barrels of our bats because we're going to be swinging. It's just got to be on the barrel. It's going to be like throwing to your 4-year-old son back in the day where you got to hit the swing.
Yes.
That's basically what's going to happen.
That'll be noon, right?
Well, oh, you're really selling the entertainment here.
It's going to be impressive. Are you kidding me? Preston
Yes. Wilson
is probably, I mean, he's in game shape still. But others, Biggio's going to shock everybody, I think. I mean, I'm not taking myself out of the game. I'm going to put on a pretty good show. But
Yep.
I guarantee you that Craig Biggio, oldest of the group, will put on a very good show. And it's interesting you guys got Luke Scott, too.
Yeah, we're bringing them in, and should be fun. So that's from noon to 12:30. So again, encouraging fans to get here early so that they can check that out. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll bring some of the alumni on the field too to kind of support you guys on the field. And
the conversations will be interesting to say the least.
well, I cannot wait then.
I thought it was Reed's idea because I saw his tweet today.
Yes.
And he was basically asking fans, you got a lot of love about who might win in that home run derby.
Oh,
and there's an actual trophy for this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
We're bringing in a trophy. Oh, yeah.
What?
We don't just do a competition without a trophy.
Well, the way you guys give out awards here, that might be extra incentive for me.
You get a trophy and your own engraved bat. So it's, you're competing for a real deal here.
All right. Maybe I do need to get in the cage.
You can get in the cages. We're not. We encourage
All right,
that.
you get the rest of the game, and I'll go down and work out. No?
We'll see you soon.
So that's a lot happening.
It is.
That's
it is.
great.
But it's kind of the last weekend before school goes back, and we want to make sure that fans come out to the ballpark, support our team. As we kind of make this last push to the postseason, and we still got a lot of baseball here, and it's going to be a really fun weekend for fans to check out. So. Tickets are still available. You can head to astros.com/tickets to get tickets for the weekend. It's going to be a packed house, though. It's going to be really energetic. It's going to be a lot of fun, and just encouraging fans to come in and check out our team.
Yeah, the crowds have been steady and strong all year long. It's been amazing to watch how energized this city and this surrounding area is about the Astros.
And we're trying not to slow down, so we're full steam ahead. It should be.
But I also like the idea of these Legends weekends bringing guys back because this game is so generational as it is, but the Astro fans are very appreciative of the history of their franchise, too.
They are.
Brianna, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Great
Appreciate
job.
it.
Nicely done.
Thank
Good clean
you,
inning.
Josh Reddick, Jake Marisnick, Marwin Gonzalez put on an offensive surge against left-handers on this road trip. They combined for 7 home runs and hit 15 runs batted in. Marwin had 3 of those 7. Jake got into the act. Marwin all of a sudden saw that right-hand power come alive.
It was a great surge, and we talked about how there weren't a lot of hits put in there, but it was a timely hits, and those were some huge hits to help the Astros get to those W's.
Here's Jake Marisnick leading things off against James Paxton. Jake takes a pitch for ball 1. Jake in his last 16 starts dating back to June is hitting .340 with an OPS of over 1,100 during that stretch. And it's 2-0. Even though Paxton had a 1-2-3 second inning, still threw a lot of pitches in facing those three batters, threw 20 pitches in that inning. And he started out this inning behind Marisnick. Jake misses the fastball. It's 2-1. I mean, Jake, then Tony Kemp, and back to the top of the order for Alex Bregman. Astros down 6-0. Justin Verlander ejected from this game after 2 innings.
Did you happen to catch any of that? I didn't even see an umpire raise his arm.
And I wonder if that's why AJ was out talking at that point to Nick Lentz.
Yeah, because AJ came out and you thought he was holding a little bit of a session with Nick Lentz about, hey, you don't need to do that. This is how he's handling. He's venting, whatever it is. But that must have been the moment right before AJ came out there. But it was very subtle.
It was subtle. We didn't see Verlander leave the dugout.
But I understand. I mean, you put the frustration. That's going to compound whatever is going on out there. But there were some questionable calls as far as strikes for me. And then there was that balk call on the potential pickoff.
The balk, instead of a pickoff to end the inning, ended up extending the inning.
So this is between that inning, as right before AJ comes out. The umpire on the right-hand side raises that right arm. There it is.
Verlander was in that little area there. He threw him out.
Maybe got the ejection and went down in the tunnel right behind AJ.
Ground ball by Kemp over the head of Healy down the right field line. Marisnick heads to third. Kemp heads to second. Astros have something going here. Down 6-0 in the bottom of the third.
Some igniters at the bottom of the lineup and giving these fans a little bit of hope early on in this game. When you go down early and you see your ace get beat around a little bit, good teams don't go into panic mode. Good teams go into the mode of get base runners, get a couple of hits, try and cut that lead in half every inning. And right now they've got a real good opportunity with 2 runners on in this lineup coming back to the top of the order.
Good aggressive base running by Kemp with the play in front of him.
I thought it was beautiful. That was a heads-up, smart, baseball-savvy type play.
So a walk and a double, and Alex Bregman bats. Alex leads the team with 71 runs batted in. Pitch up high for ball 1. Down 6-0, but plenty of innings to work with. With speed on the bases, Jake at third, Kemp at second, and nobody out. Mariners conceding a run, playing the infield back with a 6-0 lead. One to count. Ground ball towards third. Jake stays there. And the throw across, getting Bregman for the first out.
Thankfully, Jake was quick enough to get back, keep himself at third base.
Here's Marwin. Marwin popped up his first time up. Marwin with more hits and more home runs against the Mariners than any other team in his career. Well, you see that breaking ball. It's 0-1.
probably the hardest part as an offense too, when you're down by a couple of squiggly innings as far as runs are concerned against you. You want to take that one big swing and try to make a statement to get your team back in. Because you can see the tap on the helmet after Marwin swung through that pitch. Be a little more patient. There you go. Paxton tried to get him to swing at it again.
Mentioned the lefty-righty splits on the year and throughout his career. Tonight, the lone left-hander for the Astros, Tony Kemp, with a double. The other righties are 1 for 8. Foul back, it's 1-2. Part of those stats against Paxton also reflect the fact that the only lefties he faces are elite lefties usually. Lefties this year with 100 total at bats compared to 401 for right-hand hitters. Astros trying to get him on the board against a guy who shut them out over 7 innings of 3-hit baseball in his last start. Faced them on July 30th, came off the DL and shut him out for 7 innings on 82 pitches. There's a line drive, base hit into left center field. That'll score 2. Marwin with a 2 RBI base hit, and the Astros are down 6-2.
What a beautiful piece of hitting by Marwin Gonzalez. His right-handed swing has been very good of late. I know it's early, but that was a relatively clutch hit considering the situation in this ball game. A slider that James Paxton gets on the side of and doesn't have a ton of break to it. But that showed pretty good patience and faith in those hands for Marwin to stay back and rifle that back up the middle. And even with Tony Kemp freezing on the line drive, able to score.
More runs in this game than any other start against Paxton this season as Yuli shoots one just foul down the third base side. Paxton allowed 1, 1, and 0 runs in his 3 starts against the Astros prior to tonight. And they're putting some pitches on him. 51 pitches were still in the third. Last start against the Astros, he averaged 11.5 pitches per inning. Towards short, to second for 1, and Yuli is safe at first base. Yuli hustling down the line, beating the throw from D. Gordon.
Yeah, Gene Segura kind of sat back on that one. You got to be a little more urgent nowadays with the way Yuli's been running. You can see Gene Segura just got to a point, sat down, made an easy toss, but with Gordon trying to speed it up, was unable to catch Yuli going down to first.
I'll bring up Evan Gattis. Evan sitting at 399 career runs batted in. Swings to the first fastball and misses. It's 0-1. Evan struck out his first time up. Plate foul. It's 1-2. Astros scoring 2 in this inning. A walk to lead off the inning. double by Tony Kemp after the Marisnik walk, and Marwin Gonzalez driving in both runs. Marwin now up to 46 on the year and has really hit well right-handed over the last week plus. Two and two the count.
It's kind of interesting to see Brad Peacock in that dugout trying to stay loose. AJ hasn't had to use his bullpen like this in a very long time. Brad trying to stay nice and loose.
Bullpen's going to need to pick up 7 innings at least tonight. Justin Verlander ejected after 2. I mentioned how the rotation has benefited from the off days in August. This could also be the case for the bullpen. Day off coming into and out of this series. Day off going into and out of the Colorado series.
Well, and that's the other thing too. Having that off day on Monday helps them out too. So there are some 2 off days coming up in the next week, which is unprecedented.
Swing and a miss. Gaddis goes down for the second time, and that's 3 strikeouts, but 2 scored, 6-2.
Astros coming off of that excellent 6-2 road trip. So our question for you tonight: which player or group was the MVP of the Astros' recent road trip? A, the starting pitchers, B, the bullpen, C, Marwin Gonzalez, or D, a write-in choice. Go to @ATT Sportsnet SW to cast your vote. You still got about an hour to get online and vote. We'll let you know a little bit later in the game how it turned out. That could be one of those all of the above, right?
Could be. Although if the bullpen doesn't win that poll, they're never going to win a poll.
Seriously.
That's true. They were terrific.
Dominant.
Well, they were scoreless, right? I mean, how do you do any better than that?
Yeah, scoreless. So 20 and a third innings scoreless, and allowed 6 hits.
Shouldn't have given up those 6.
What?
I'm just kidding. They put up such good numbers.
Even when they gave up that opening triple.
Well, that's right.
Yesterday, Alan Hansen tripling to lead off the inning. Tony Sipp was able to get Steven Duggar to pop up, and then Joe Smith struck out the 2 batters he faced. Smith ended up getting the win in that game, and the Astros bullpen wouldn't allow anything else the rest of the way. See if that trend continues tonight. Brad Peacock started strong with a 1-2-3 third and a couple of strikeouts. Justin Verlander, if you're just joining us, leaving the game after 2 innings. He was ejected by the home plate umpire Nick Lentz. A ball call that went against Verlander, part of the frustration in that inning leading up to the ejection. Verlander had picked off Mitch Haniger to end the 2nd inning, but the inning continued and 3 runs would score. There's a called third strike on Cameron Maben. Peacock has struck out 3 in a row, and there's 1 out in the 4th.
This pitching performance is powered by Kubota, Charlie Morton, and the Houston Astros pitching staff on this road trip. The team ERA overall was ruined by the starters with that 2.37 ERA because, to Todd's point, the bullpen literally did not give up a run. Starting pitching kept them in the game. Bullpen kept those games where it was at and allowed the opportunity for that offense to step up and get some big hits.
Hector Rondon was brilliant, especially in those National League games. 4-out save against the Dodgers, preserved a 2-1 win against the Giants on Monday, and then a 2-1 win Tuesday, a 3-1 win on Monday. D. Gordon takes a pitch outside for a ball. It's 1-1.
Tall task ahead of him, but in the last 9 games, there's some of the numbers.
So that goes back to the last game of the previous homestand, plus that perfect road trip. Outside of Gordon, it's 2-1. Brad Peacock's a guy that can give A.J. Hinch multiple innings. A.J. will try and piece together this 7 innings of work from his bullpen. He's got Peacock, who he's comfortable using multiple innings. Ryan Presley, he's comfortable going to for multiple innings. Young rookie left-hander in the bullpen. Cionel Perez could go multiple innings. And then Colin McHugh, of course, former starter. So he's got some options out there, and he has 9 men in the bullpen with the injury to Lance McCullers Jr. Swing and a miss at the fastball. Brad Peacock has come in and retired all 5, including 4 consecutive strikeouts.
Elevated fastball. Good rise on that pitch at 93 miles an hour, right by D. Gordon.
Verlander struck out 2 in the first inning. None in the second, and now Peacock comes on to pick up 4 more strikeouts. Now faces Mitch Haniger. All the damage done against Justin Verlander by the first 4 hitters in the lineup. Haniger hooks one down the line and left. This will be his 3rd consecutive base hit. It'll be his 3rd consecutive extra base hit. Haniger with a home run and 2 doubles. Liking that leadoff spot. Haniger normally hits in the 3 spot. Scott Servais decided to switch it up tonight, and it has paid off. Gonna bring up Denard Span. Span has a triple and a 2-run home run. Span with 9 home runs on the year, 5 with Seattle.
You have to mix up the book a little bit on Mitch Haniger, huh? He's all over that outside corner and pulling everything. Get in on the pine tar one of these times, maybe.
Maldonado tries the back pick with Haniger leading off second.
Can't call a balk on that. Trying to get the slider past Haniger, but he has been all over that outside corner. Really been at the waist and covering the outside. That's why I say maybe next time mix it up a little bit and try and jam him. Let him know that you have the ability to come in there.
Span holds up, and the count's 3-1. Top four in the Mariners lineup are 7 for 8 tonight. Check that, 8 for 9 tonight. The bottom 5 in the Mariners lineup are 0 for 10 with 6 strikeouts.
All this worry about Scott Service mixing up the lineup.
He's got his horses at the top, that's for sure. At least tonight. There's a pitch that misses to Span.
Wow, Maldonado straight up turned around and looked at him.
It has not been the Astros' favorite night with Nick Lentz behind the plate.
Yeah, you just don't see that too often where the catcher will actually turn around. Off the edge, but Maldonado felt it was good enough.
So another meeting from Brent Strom. With 2 on and 2 outs, Astros cutting into that 6-0 lead last inning. 6-2 is the score. Still plenty of at-bats to work with, and they've put some pitches on James Paxton. 58 through 3 after he threw just 82 against them in his last start in 7 innings of work. Here's Gene Segura. He has a double and a home run. You take Nelson Cruz out of the equation because he had an RBI base hit. Even the top 3 have put up a phenomenal game, and they're only in the 4th inning, batting for the 3rd time. Segura double home run, Span triple home run, Haniger 2 doubles home run. 7 extra base hits in the top 3 in the lineup, and we're still in the 4th inning.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Not just hits, but damage producing hits.
Haniger batting leadoff for the first time in his career, showing that he likes it. Pitch down low to Segura. It's 2-1. Haniger hitting in every other spot in the lineup prior to tonight except for leadoff.
Looks pretty comfortable up there.
Yeah. 2-1 the count to Segura. On the ground, slowly hit. JD gives way to Bregman. Off balance throw by Alex, and Segura is safe. The bases will be loaded.
There's a lot going on that play. They have gone inside on Segura throughout the day. Completely blow him up right here, but just out of the reach of JD and caused a little bit of congestion in front of Alex Bregman. And with Tyler White having to step back a little bit and catch it on the long hop, allowed that extra step for Segura to get in there safely.
Now the bases are loaded for Nelson Cruz. Peacock striking out the first 2 batters in this inning. Now the top 3 in the lineup have been on base 9 times in 9 plate appearances. 8 for 8 with a walk. Cruz takes a called strike. Haniger doubled. Span walked. Segura with a slow infield hit. Big swing, no contact, and Peacock ahead 0-2.
Be a nice shutdown inning for Brad Peacock.
Swing and a miss. Strikes out 3 in the inning. Mariners threaten and leave the bases loaded, still 6-2. regular season game plus a free subscription to At Bat Premium for $59.99. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv to take advantage of this special offer. Thursday night crowd here at Minute Maid Park hoping for a comeback tonight. The Astros were down 6-0 after 2. It's now 6-2 as they bat in the 4th inning. Tyler White, J.D. Davis, Martin Maldonado facing James Paxton the second time through the lineup. Paxton, who has not been as fine with his command as we've seen him in the past, walked Jake Marisnick to start the last inning, and now he's 2-0 on Tyler White. There's a strike called. It's 2-1. Paxton, with those 3 innings of work, has set his new career high for most innings in a season. As White pops one up in the shallow left, the shortstop Segura is out there to make the play for out number 1. Paxton now at 136 2/3 innings, eclipsing his career high last year when he threw 136 innings. 23rd start of the year. Last year he made 24, which is also a career high. Has dealt with a number of injuries throughout his time in the big leagues. The back gave him problems this year, which put him on the DL. Last year was a forearm strain and a strained left pec muscle that limited him to 24 starts. The year before, a left elbow contusion. But when he's healthy, the Astros know this guy has been lethal against them. As J.D. Davis grounds one to short, he is out number 2. Two outs, base is empty, and Martin Maldonado will bat. Mentioned the Mariners lost the last 2 games to Texas, giving up 11 in each of those 2 games, and used some of their arms in the bullpen a little bit. So Jason Bradford was sent out today. They added 2 new arms to the bullpen, Casey Lawrence and Nick Rumbelow, as Maldonado fouls one away. Martin grounded out to third his first time up. Also, Sam Tuivalala was put on the DL. Maldonado into center field. Cameron Maben comes on, and Paxton has a 1-2-3 inning and a low pitch count in that inning, only threw 8 pitches.
Astros outfield. That does include Marwin. He's got a great arm out there. 14 defensive runs saved. They're second in the American League. They have been tested, and they've followed through and picking up their pitchers, cutting down runners, cutting down runs at home plate. They are highly athletic, aggressive to the baseball with good arms. No matter the rotation out there or if they keep it shuffle, always good defense behind the pitching staff out there in the outfield. Got a new pitcher in the ball game.
Will Harris takes over after 2 shutout innings from Brad Peacock. Peacock allowed a couple of hits and a walk. Struck out 5 of the 6 outs he recorded, and now Will takes over.
46 game for Will Harris. In those 46 games, he has 51 strikeouts.
Leads the team in appearances on the season. Up to 227 since joining the Astros back in 2015. As he'll face Kyle Seager, Mike Zunino, and Ryan Healy. All the damage done by Seattle's top of the lineup. Seager struck out and flied out. Struck out against Verlander, flied out against Brad Peacock. Takes a called strike. It's 1-1. Kyle 2 for 15 on this road trip, which continues on to Oakland after this 4-game series. They've played Texas for 3, then here for 4, and then on to Oakland. On 2 hops, Tyler White will flip to Will Harris covering. Seager is out, number 1 in the pit. Beyond this road trip for the Mariners, they then go home and play the Dodgers in Houston. The Astros and Mariners will play each other 7 times in the span of 12 games for the Astros, and for the Mariners, this is their make or break time. They are 8 back of the Astros and 3 back of the A's.
Yeah, at the beginning of the season, you saw the Astros and Dodgers and said, yeah, that might be tough, but now it's the Oakland A's that are thrown into that mix, and they are hungry to get into that wild card hunt and sneak back in, maybe to the top of the West. But it's been a great thing. Last time the Astros saw these guys, they were in 2nd place. Now they see them. They're a couple games back in 3rd place, trying to get back against the Oakland A's.
They will play the A's 10 times between now and the end of the season, 7 of them in Oakland. As Tony Kemp puts it away for out number 2. Through July 3rd, the Mariners were right there, threatening the Astros for the division lead. The A's were still making their move, but still 8.5 back at that point. But since then, things have changed.
Yeah, but to go a half game back to 8 and end up in 3rd place and have Oakland get on the run they've been on has been remarkable to watch. But if they're ever to get back into it, like you're saying, now is the time that they have to make their move, because if they don't, they get pushed down even further. Ooh, August is going to be over, and you're only going to have a month left.
Time will definitely become a factor. The A's splitting a series against the Dodgers, winning last night. Oakland with the night off tonight as Ryan Healy takes a called strike. Healy has popped up and struck out. Outside for a ball. It's 1-1. Meanwhile, the Astros are playing a stretch of games continuously against teams that are 500 or better as well. They just came off a road trip with 3 teams with a winning record, although the Giants now, after losing the 2 to the Astros, have fallen below 500, but at the time they were 500 or better. These 2 teams in this homestand are Seattle and the Rockies. They have winning records. Swing and a miss. Will Harris, a strong inning, gets Ryan Healy to strike out to end the inning. presented by Rooms to Go, where you'll save even more when you buy the whole room, and delivery is fast and easy. And by Nissan, innovation that excites. Bottom half of the fifth inning, Astros down 6-2. This is the part of the order that started the two-run third inning. Jake Marisnick leading things off. He walked and scored. Around a bunt, pushes one on the right side. Tough play, Paxton. No play, Paxton. Marisnick a bunt hit.
Why not? Talked about base runners. Just continue to get runners on base. Caught him by surprise. Not a perfect bunt, but a great bunt when you have the speed of Jake Marisnick. You can see Paxton, by the time he picked it up, said, nope, I'm not even going to try it. Because if you airmail that, he's easily on second base, if not third.
Fourth hit of the night for the Astros. 3 singles and a double by Tony Kemp. Here is Kemp. Tony bounced one over the head of Ryan Healy and then hustled his way into second for a double. He also came around to score. Astros trying to peck away at this deficit. It was 6-0, now 6-2.
How about Tony Kemp with Springer on the DL? A lot of left-handed outfielders on this roster for A.J. Hinch. And tonight it's Tony Kemp getting the opportunity against James Paxton. Josh Reddick has good numbers against left-handed pitchers on the season, in the last couple of seasons, to be honest. But Kemp getting an opportunity right here came through in that first AB.
One pitch is sent pretty well to left field, all the way back, span. This ball's off the wall. Marisnick heading to third. He'll be held up. Tony Kemp another double. He is 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. And the Astros rallying with nobody out in the fifth.
Tony is Kemping right now. Good job keeping that front shoulder closed, staying on the fastball away and launching it off that scoreboard out there in left field. Well, the last time the 8-hitter and 9-hitter got on base for the Astros, they scored.
Mel Stottlemyre Jr. out there to discuss things with his starter, James Paxton, who has had a lot of success this year against the Astros, but struggling a little bit tonight. He's allowed 2, and 2 more are on here with nobody out.
What's great is where he makes contact with this baseball. When you're going the other way, you're going to catch it a little bit deeper in your swing than you normally would. If he gets a little bit further out in front, it's just a pop up to third or left field. But because he stayed on top of it and drove through it, is what led to it getting a little extra oomph behind it to get it off that manual scoreboard and left.
Same scenario as last time for Alex Bregman, although this time the infield, well, the infield was back. Last time he just chopped one to the third baseman, Seager. So he's got the same scenario, second and third, nobody out. And pitch outside for ball 1.
Alex would love to drive in at least 1 run right here, if not more. He's been sitting on that 71 RBI mark for a while now.
Keep his pace, which he's been on for the last few weeks, of being a 100 RBI producer. He needs to get an RBI tonight. He's at 71 after 115 games. That's on pace for exactly 100. Looks the ball foul. Paxton ahead of Bregman, 1-2. Alex singled his first time up and then grounded out to third. Mentioned Paxton splits against lefties, a reverse guy, especially pronounced this year, but also throughout his career. I wonder if AJ Hinch keeps seeing success from left-hand hitters. In this case, Tony Kemp. He might consider throwing more lefties in there against Paxton next time around.
It's amazing, isn't it?
No way, 2-2. A bunt hit by Jake Marisnik, a double off the wall and left by Tony Kemp. Now Bregman looking at 2 runners in scoring position. Swing and a miss. May have been a rare chase there for Bregman as he goes down. 4 strikeout for Paxton.
That is a rare chase for Alex. Ball kind of took off out of the hand with that arm side run from James Paxton. And it may not look like frustration, but it might have been a guy who's trying to drive in some runs too, expanding the zone a little bit.
This guy's been on an RBI tear lately. 8 in his last 9 games, including 2 tonight. Marwin tries to hold up, it goes around. Marwin with a 2 RBI single, also popped up. Splits this year, righty's getting him for the home runs. So the slugging percentage is not quite as separated as the batting average, but tonight Tony Kemp the only lefty, 2 for 2. Couple of doubles. Astros really would love to get these 2 runs in and make it feel like a whole different ballgame. Down 6-0 to James Paxton seemed like a huge mountain, but 2 in the 3rd and threatening for more here. Good take by Marwin. It's 2-1.
When Paxton is ahead in the count, cuts way back on that fastball and gets heavy on the slider and the curveball. But when he is behind or even, he is right on that fastball, and we've seen that fastball be effective in the top portion of the zone. It's also nice to not be afraid to throw your fastball in those counts when you can get up to 97 if you need to.
So you're saying Marwin should be sitting fastball here.
Get it ready.
The breaking ball and chops it foul.
But it might have a little something to do with the recent scouting reports on Marwin Gonzalez. Because that home run that he hit off Will Smith was on a fastball, a couple of fastballs off Wade LeBlanc. Well, Wade LeBlanc fastballs, 86 miles an hour is a little bit different than 96, 97.
We will see Wade LeBlanc pitch here on Saturday. Not sure who's going to pitch for the Mariners on Sunday. Felix Hernandez is scheduled. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. So back-to-back strikeouts with runners on 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. Now it'll take a 2-out hit from Yuli Gurriel.
Nasty little cutter or slider down and in. Tough pitch.
Yuli coming in 2nd in all of baseball and hitting with runners in scoring position. Trailing just Joe Mauer. Inside, ball 1. actually at 415 with runners in scoring position, and over 400 even with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Towards the middle, Segura is there, and his throw in time to get Yuli for the final out of the inning. So second and third, nobody out. The Astros strand 2. Who am I? Who dat? Not exactly perfect, the Great Northwest. Who dat? Not exactly perfect in the Great Northwest. Those are our clues. Send your guesses or answers to @ATT Sportsnet SW. We can get live shots of some of these named at Astros this weekend.
Yeah, we could.
As Brianna Hughes told us earlier, over 30 members of the Astros alumni will be back in town for the weekend. They'll be recognized before the game Saturday. Legends Home Run Derby on Sunday. Here's Cameron Maben leading things off against Will Harris. Frustrating bottom half of the 5th inning for the Astros, down 4. Chance to cut into that lead further with second and third and nobody out, but a couple of strikeouts and a ground out. Now it'll be up to Will Harris and others in the bullpen to keep this game where it is. 3 shutout innings so far for the bullpen. Brad Peacock 2 and Will Harris a 1-2-3 fifth. Maben has grounded out and struck out. Maben acquired last year on August 31st. The Rays were wrapping up the Astros were wrapping up their series in the Rays home stadium. Here's a ball in the center field for a base hit. A.J. Hinch had been ejected in that game and ended up talking to Cameron during that game against the Rangers, welcoming him to the state of Texas and to the Houston Astros. And then later that night, Justin Verlander would be acquired. Base hit by Cameron. Here's D. Gordon.
Yeah, that month of August should go down in Astros legend and lore. Just the hurricane, the trades, playing at a different ballpark, doubleheader at Minute Maid Park.
It was the one losing month for the Astros last year, 11-17 in August. In fact, this year's team coming into tonight had the best record after 115 games in Astros history, and they had a 2-game cushion over the pace of last year's team. Part of it has to do with the 6-2 road trip, and part of that has to do with last year's team kind of fell off a little bit this month before Maben and Verlander joined the squad. Smith knows that Maben likes to run, so he's checking him at first. Cameron has stolen 8 bases this year, all with Miami. Maven stole a big base for the Astros in the World Series. In extra innings of Game 2 in LA, stole second base. Freed up George Springer, whose only thought was to hit the ball the other way to move him to third. Springer hit the ball the other way, hit it out of the park. Maldonado tries to throw behind Maven, but Tyler White has to go out and get it. Maven last year came over to the Houston Astros in that deal.
Martin Maldonado is going to remind a lot of Astro fans of Humberto Quintero. Be ready. That's what it means in Spanish if you're an infielder and he's catching. He about took my head off one year in spring training.
Humberto?
Yep. Me and Miguel Cabrera almost went down in a heap.
In on the hands of Gordon, and he gets hit by that pitch. And A.J. Hinch said that sounded like it hit the bat. Hold on a second.
Yeah, it sounded like it hit the knob of the bat up here too. Not much of a reaction from D. Gordon that screams, "Ah, I just got hit in the hand." Catch part of that batting glove. Oh, it did get the wrist first and then the knob. Explains a lot.
So the first two on for the Mariners in the 6th inning. Maven a single and D. Gordon hit by pitch. Now Will Harris will have to deal with Mitch Haniger, who is having quite a game and his first time as a leadoff hitter in his career. Home run and 2 doubles. Starting to say with Maldonado behind the dish. Maven and Maldonado were teammates before Maven was traded here to Houston last year, so he kind of looked over at Martin after Martin tried to pick him off first base, saying, "I've seen that before, just when I was in the outfield." Martin with a visit. Astros are down to 2 visits.
Plenty of game left. Man, you go out there and take more than 2 visits, Nick Lentz might fire you out of here. There's going to be repercussions, Todd.
Justin Verlander ejected after the 2nd inning of this game. That's why it's been Brad Peacock for 2, and now Will Harris in his 2nd inning of work. Astros getting the bullpen back up with Tony Sipp loosening.
That was a long distance ejection too. Nick Lentz down the third base line and Justin Verlander well inside the Astros dugout. Coming inside.
That's what you're hoping for.
Yeah, tie him up.
Haniger 3 hits. Denard Span, the number 2 hitter, has been on base 3 times. He has a couple of hits. Gene Segura has 3 hits. Top 3 in the Seattle lineup with 8 of their 10 hits tonight. Haniger an all-star this year for the first time. Runner on the move to third. Maldonado's throw not quite in time. Stolen base for Maven as he picks up his 9th of the year and his first with the Mariners.
How is D. Gordon still at first base? Usually that trail runner goes with the lead runner, especially when you've got the speed of D. Gordon. But this is a tough position for J.D. Davis to be in. You've got a guy at the plate who's heavy pull, and you got to hold your ground to cover the possible swing and contact, yet cover third.
Maldonado put it right on the bag, but may have been safe, and now the infield's in.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was a very good throw. If J.D. Davis isn't there in time to make that catch and tag, it might be a different story.
Now the count goes full. Single, hit batter, stolen base. And D. Gordon staying at first. He's second in the American League and steals with 26. Astros unable to convert second and third, nobody out with their top of the lineup last half inning. Now the Mariners have first and third with nobody out and their top of the lineup. There goes Gordon. The pitch is grounded foul.
D. Gordon trying to play catch up. And when you're the trail runner, if it's first and second, you're the runner at first base, and you have a guy like Cameron Maybin, even if you're a moderate runner in the big leagues, you get a big enough lead over there at first base, just keep your eyes on that lead runner. The second you see him break, it should be relatively easy to get out there and take second base. That's why I'm a little surprised that D. Gordon's still at first. Because with those two guys and the way they burn up base paths, it should have been an easy double steal.
Line drive, base hit center field. That'll score a run. D. Gordon going first to third. Jake's throw will be cut off. Haniger now 4 for 4, drives in another run at 7-2.
D. Gordon would have scored if he'd have been on second base for that double steal. Everything on the outside corner. Mitch Haniger getting those arms extended with another base hit.
Four-hit night already, and we're only in the 6th inning. He is never going to want to leave that leadoff spot.
He's a triple away from the cycle.
Here's Denard Span. He's been on base 3 times. And 2 of their first 3 hitters are a triple away from the cycle. Haniger and Gene Segura. Span has that triple, has a home run, and also is walked. Run allowed by Will Harris snapped the streak of appearances scoreless.
And the bullpen gave up a run finally.
That's right. Perfect on the road trip and giving up a run here in the first home game. They needed to cover 7 innings tonight. It was going to be a tough task. But Will hadn't allowed a run in his last 4 appearances, just 1 hit and 1 walk and 7 strikeouts in that time. Four hits for Haniger, the most this season. He did have a 5-hit game in Anaheim last year at the end of the season. $11 hits for Seattle. First 3 guys in the lineup are 9 for 9 with a walk. Up and in, 2-1. in the air right field. Tagging at third is Gordon. He has excellent speed. Kemp will make the play and throw it into second. Sac fly by Span scores the run. It is now 8-2. Oakland A's making some news, Blummer.
They sure are. Picking up Fernando Rodney from the Minnesota Twins. 25 saves this season. That back end of the bullpen is getting very deep. Jury's Familia picked up. They already had Trevino and Blake Trinan at the back end. Blake Trinan, best ERA in the American League as far as relievers are concerned. And now they get another guy with plenty of closing experience. Wow.
Just watching how they pieced together that win last night against the Dodgers. Mike Fiers, the former Astro, was going in that game in his first start with Oakland, and he had a relatively low pitch count. But after 5 1/3 innings, he was out of the game. They went to Trevino, they went to Familia, they went to Trinan. Those guys covered the final 11 outs of that game, and now they're going to try and do the same thing with another reliever, Fernando Rodney. They're basically, they know their starters aren't as deep as other teams' rotations. So they're going to try and go 5 or 6 innings at a time as Segura sends one to right field, and Tony Kemp leaps and makes the play. Segura robbed as he is out for the first time tonight. Kemp went up and got that one to take extra bases away from Segura. He only needed a triple for the cycle.
Well, and it's a good thing Tony Kemp got up there and made a good play. He's been good on offense. Here he gets an opportunity on defense, showing some hang time, getting up there to stay with that baseball. Typically playing center field and left field, gets the opportunity in right tonight, and that was right.
Here's Nelson Cruz with a runner on first and 2 outs. Cruz 1 for 3, and he grounds one towards short. Bregman will flip it to second, and that'll do it. But the Mariners tack on 2. It's now 8-2. The Great Northwest, our Name That Astro tonight, Carl Everett, acquired from the Mets for John Hudek in 1997. He broke up Mike Mussina's perfect game and finished his career with the Mariners.
Ex-teammate Carl Everett.
He had some interesting ideas. Here's Evan Gaddis. Takes one down and in for ball 1. He definitely marched to the beat of his own.
Oh yeah.
Beliefs and drummers. Having a couple of strikeouts tonight against James Paxton.
So you're saying he's not going to be first in line to go watch any of the Jurassic World Series, World movies.
Does not believe in it.
No. Maybe we'll go see him because it's fictional.
He'll think it's all based on fiction.
There we go. We need to color up that side of the scorebook.
Astros down 6 again. They were down 6-0, scored 2. Threatened for more in the bottom of the 5th with 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. Couldn't score any runs. And then the Mariners put 2 back up on top in the 6th. Big Maple out there with a 6-run lead. Approaching 90 pitches here in the 6th inning. Sends one to the center field. Cameron Maben comes in and makes the play for out number 1. Well, mentioning the Astros schedule, they have teams with winning records in this homestand, Seattle and Colorado. They just came off a road trip where they played 3 teams that were 500 or better, and they pushed San Fran to below 500 after the win on Tuesday. So depending on whether the Angels are 500 or better when they face them, they could go the entire month of August playing teams with a record of 500 or better. Not until they see Minnesota on September 3rd will they play a team that we know will be below 500. We'll see what happens with the Los Angeles Angels. They've been missing Mike Trout lately and are currently sitting right at 500. This is the tough part of the schedule for sure. Seattle hasn't been playing their best baseball lately, but they jumped out tonight early. Tyler White goes down on a foul tip, and now first base umpire Doug Edding says that ball touched the ground, so that will not be a strikeout.
It's not going to make Scott Service or James Paxton happy.
Scott Service asking Nick Lentz if he had it as a foul tip.
Yeah, he was asking if it was a swing and a strike, and that's why he rung him up. And then Doug Eddings came down and said that ball did get dirt, and then gave the foul tip motion.
Lentz called foul tip, and then Eddings confirmed that it hit the ground.
We know it hit the dirt.
So the 2 umpires collaborating on that call. Joe West has been in on the infield a couple of times, and he'll jog back out to his spot at second. So White stays alive. The count's 0-2. Tyler has popped up a couple of times tonight. White, since this recall coming into tonight, brought back from AAA Fresno at the end of June, he's hit .321 in that stretch. This is the corner inside. It's 1-2. AJ Hinch looking forward to getting one of his regulars back tomorrow. Carlos Correa was here today. Scheduled off day for Carlos. AJ will be happy to write his name in the lineup tomorrow. I mentioned the Mariners have Wade LeBlanc scheduled on Saturday. Tomorrow's Mike Leake, the righty who pitched well against the Astros up in Seattle. And then Sunday had been Felix Hernandez scheduled, but we saw Felix walking down to the bullpen earlier in this game, even though he started a couple of games ago for Seattle.
It was very interesting to see. A lot of talk about longtime ace of the Seattle Mariners pitching staff. How much longer is Scott Service going to keep him in that rotation? And your eyes picked up big number 34 walking out to the bullpen here at Minute Maid Park.
Two is inside. Only time you normally see this is before start. Felix in the bullpen right now.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that unfolds.
That is a sign that possibly we will not see him on Sunday. 3-2 pitch. Now it's 3-2.
Yeah, King Felix had an outing here at Minute Maid Park. I believe it was either a third or 2/3 of an inning where he gave up 8 runs. So probably not too anxious to get back on the mound here at Minute Maid Park.
Ball 4 outside. Tyler White, after thinking he struck out, draws a walk.
League leaders are presented by Houston Methodist. Most road wins over a 2-year span for the Houston Astros. 2017-18, they've already matched with 94 wins. A lot of previous years' records, and there's still some road games to go.
3 more road trips. They matched the 98-99 combo, and then last year and the year before, J.D. Davis pops one up on the infield. Healy puts it away. J.D. now 0 for 3, and that's 2 outs in the 6th. It's an incredible stretch of games in 2 years to have that kind of road record. It's an amazing that both seasons they have mirrored each other. With the road record and the offense much better away from Minute Maid Park.
Yeah, some of those offensive numbers are amazing. The extra base hits, the slugging, the on base, everything is up by quite a bit on those road numbers.
Astros still have the rest of this game plus 2 more games until they play the same number of home games as they have road games. And right now, with the 2 runs tonight, they still trail their road totals by 77 runs.
There's some of the numbers in the lower right.
Full run per game. Up the middle, that's a base hit. Martin Maldonado with his 3rd hit as an Astro. He is 1 for 3 tonight. The Astros with runners on 1st and 2nd and 2 outs. Now coming to the part of the lineup that's been as productive as any for the Astros, Jake Marisnick and Tony Kemp. Marisnick a walk, a run scored, also a bunt hit. And Kemp behind him with a couple of doubles. Paxton exactly at 100 pitches on the night.
Only his 3rd start since coming off the DL. Before that, did he have a sore back?
Yep, lower back inflammation. Threw 105 last outing, but I'm sure the Mariners will keep tabs on where he is with bullpen action going now in the 6th inning. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. Nick Vincent warming up in the Mariners bullpen. Just started to throw, so Paxton will have at least this batter plus Kemp if he's not able to finish off the inning. 2-1. Astros have had at least 2 runners on in 3 of the last 4 innings. 3-1. I'm sure Paxton would rather not face Kemp here with the bases loaded. So see if Jake can get a pitch to drive. Jake keeps moving that batting average up. It's been a long climb for him. He's sitting at .216 right now with 9 home runs. Counts full. Nobody on this active roster has hit a home run against James Paxton.
98.
Sensing the finish line's close.
You ain't lying, man. Reaching way back, getting to that 98 miles an hour. Good job by Jake, fighting it off.
Ball four, the bases will be loaded with a guy coming to the plate who is 2 for 2 with a couple of doubles. Serves has a tough decision here. A lefty on the mound or a righty warming up, and it looks like he is going to go out with Tony Kemp 2 up. This had just started warming up.
Yeah, Scott Service, an ex-catcher, also maybe going out there to have a little bit of a conversation. You see Zunino listening in. Give him a chance to catch his breath after that battle against Jake Marisnick and losing him. And probably informing him again, this is your last hitter. Give me what you can to get out of this. But wouldn't it be great if Tony Kemp was able to keep this stretch going of a couple of knocks today? Great play out there in right field. Knock him out of the game, getting that bullpen a little bit.
Kemp a double off the out-of-town scoreboard and left, also doubled over the head of Ryan Healy on a chopping double his first time up. This is the slider or cutter. It's 0-1.
You know the last time Jake Marisnick walked twice in a game? August 8th of last year.
Nice.
Jake Day.
Almost the exact same day. Tony does not chase this one. It's 1-1. 1 year and 1 day later. Paxton about to make his 110th pitch. And Kemp misses. It's 1-2. Steady diet of cutters in this at bat.
Has been, especially after that previous AB when he took that fastball almost into the Crawford box.
Four in a row, and it's 2-2.
And he's making some pretty good pitches. That one just off the edge. Tony did a better job of taking it. These great pitchers, or guys who want to be great pitchers, when fatigue sets in, really got to focus in on executing the pitch.
Runner at every base. White, Maldonado, and Marisnick with 2 outs.
Talked about all the cutters and sliders early on. Reached back to get 97, trying to beat Tony.
His 2 highest velocity fastballs of the night have been in this inning. 97.8. Threw one to Tyler White, threw one to Jake Marisnick. Up and in, 3-2. That means the merry-go-round will be on here. White, Maldonado, Jake all getting a head start with 2 outs. Tony can put one into the gap. We have a brand new ball game. Jake got a huge jump off first.
Jake's fun to watch run the bases. He's got the speed, but he also has some of those baseball instincts that tell you that he's actually trying to get more.
Tony keeps staying alive. Quite a battle. Kemp has earned himself some playing time in 2018, the way he has been since he's been called up from AAA Fresno. This will be the 9th pitch of this at bat. There's a little line drive, base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Maldonado. He'll score. Tony Kemp, a 3-for-3 night, and it's 8-4.
Tony making Kempin look easy. What an AB. Tell you what, the way this crowd's reacting, the way Tony's reacting, it wouldn't make you think that it's an 8-4 game now, but what an AB to extend this inning and eventually push James Paxton out of this game. Fought off that fastball in the inside corner. And with the runners moving, Maldonado scores easy.
Only lefty in the lineup tonight against James Paxton. 3-for-3 with a couple of RBIs and a run scored. Paxton out of the game. Nick Vincent comes in out of the bullpen to face Alex Bregman when we come back. Fans who purchase season tickets now enjoy immediate benefits, including guaranteed 2018 postseason priority access. For more info, visit Astros.com/season tickets or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Tony Kemp winning a 9-pitch at bat against the starter James Paxton. Driving in 2, that knocks Paxton out of the game, and now the Mariners go to the right-hander Nick Vincent.
Nick Vincent doesn't throw very hard, has several pitches, fastball, changeup, curveball, cut fastball on the season. 32 strikeouts and 34 2/3 innings pitched. That ERA, 4.41. In the 3 games against the Astros have gotten to him. He is heavy on that cut fastball to right-handed hitters.
See if Alex can look for it here and takes it away for a ball. It's 1-0. Alex Bregman, 1-for-3, has batted the last 2 times up with 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. And has grounded out and struck out. Now a chance to drive in a run with 2 outs in 1st and 3rd. Alex getting back-to-back cutters, fouling that off. It's 1-1. This year against the Mariners, Alex batting .324 coming in. He's 1-for-3 tonight. Strike, it's 1-2. Swing and a miss. Bregman goes down swinging for the 2nd straight at bat. That'll strand 2 runners, but the Astros add 2 on the Tony Kemp single. It's now 8-4. Those with AT&T Sportsnet in their TV subscription. Blackouts and other territorial restrictions do apply. 8-4 game. We head to the 7th inning. Justin Verlander 2 innings, Brad Peacock 2 innings, Will Harris 2 innings, and now Tony Sipp, who's been very good lately.
Has been good. He's been tough on lefties, also holding them down to a 149 batting average. Got himself a third of an inning in San Francisco, gave up a hit, but eventually worked out of it, not giving up much else.
After that leadoff triple by Allen Hansen was stranded thanks to Sipp getting a pop-up and Joe Smith getting a couple of strikeouts. That gave Tony 26 of his last 27 outings scoreless as he faces Kyle Seager, Mike Zunino, and Ryan Healy for the Mariners. This part of the lineup is 0 for 9 tonight. All the damage done by Seattle at the top of their lineup. Top 3 hitters have driven in 7 of the 8 runs and scored 6 of the 8. Astros got to James Paxton for 4 tonight. As opposed to the Mariners, the Astros getting their offense from the bottom of their lineup. Jake Marisnik's been on base 3 times, and Tony Kemp double and single. Two and 1 the count. Seager struck out against Verlander his first time up. He was the first batter to face Brad Peacock in the 3rd inning, flied out to center field. He was the first batter to face Will Harris in the 5th inning, grounded out. Now he's the first batter to face Tony Sipp. Inside, it's 3-1. Only game going right now in the American League on this Thursday. Not a full schedule. Only one other AL West team played other than this game. Texas losing to the Yankees in New York, 7-3. Seager hanging in there with a 3-2 count. There's the ball down the right field line. That's fair. Headed towards the corner. Tony Kemp will play it off the wall. Kyle Seager has a double to start the 7th.
Tony holding an extra beat during that last pitch may have tipped off Seager that he was getting that off-speed pitch. He did a good job of staying on it.
I'll bring up Mike Zunino. Mariners have 12 hits in this game.
8 of them extra base hits.
It's a lot of extra base hits.
It was a good slugging night. Still some game left too.
4 doubles, a triple, and 3 home runs. Zunino misses the first pitch.
6 of the first 5 hits they got were extra base hits.
6 of the first 5.
That's pretty excessive.
That'll be it.
Gosh.
Well, there's 2 guys that have a chance for the cycle. Gene Segura was frustrated with Tony Kemp.
Mookie Betts hit for the cycle tonight.
Did he?
Yeah. It was only a matter of time the way he's been going.
I think there's still 7.5 weeks left. Well, I know there is, but a lot of people still talk about Cy Young and MVPs at this point of the season. Mookie's got to be right up there.
Absolutely.
Jose Altuve was finally caught and passed in hits in the American League. J.D. Martinez now leads the AL in hits. The longer Altuve's out, the tougher it will be for him to get to 200 hits, and also the tougher it will be for him to lead the league in hits. Right now he's within striking distance, but we'll see if we get an update over the weekend on Altuve.
Yeah, it's a little peculiar to see a guy like Altuve out for this long. Not a guy that's accustomed to being on the DL. He's a guy that's accustomed to playing 162 games a year.
Never had a stint on the DL prior to this. Carlos Correa done his time with Corpus Christi. Carlos managed a home run while he was down there in 16 at bats.
He was making more news with the foul balls he was hitting.
Yeah, to Daniela. Fiance Daniela Rodriguez catching a foul ball up in a game at Corpus last night. This ball popped high in the air. Maldonado gives it a look. Will he have room? It hits a beam and should have been a dead ball right away. I'm not sure if Nick Lentz saw that. Would have been interesting if Maldonado caught it. I'm sure one of the umpires saw it. That stays 1-2. Martin still learning the ground rules here. That's frustrating for Sip. Felt like he had it out there. Swing and a miss. Tony Sip able to get Mike Zunino swinging. So there's Altuve at 134 coming into tonight. He was tied with Gene Segura. Segura with a 3-hit night moves him up to 137. JD leading All-American League hitters. Lindor and Rosario at 136. So despite being out for the last 2 weeks, Altuve still in the top 5.
It's pretty impressive how he goes out and gets so many hits so often.
Here's Ryan Healy 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Healy into center field. That'll send Jake Marisnick back. Tying at second and moving to third is Seager. There's 2 outs in the inning.
Toronto actually ended up beating Boston in that ball game, but Mookie Betts had to hit a home run for the cycle and ended up hitting it off of Kenny Giles.
It was a tough series for Ken Giles.
Yes.
He gave up 5 in an extra inning game against the Red Sox. Game they won 10-7. Here's Cameron Maybin, 2 outs and a runner on third. And coming in, the Astros were the only team that were over 200 in run differential. That could change. They were a plus 202 coming in. The Red Sox were a plus 199. The Red Sox lost 3 tonight off their run differential, so they're a plus 196, and right now the Astros sitting at a plus 198. But it was a week ago tonight that the Red Sox allowed their 400th run. At that point, every other team in the major leagues had allowed 400 or more runs except for the Astros. That was the run differential as play started today. So the Astros have gone a week since every other team has gone over 400 runs allowed. Even with the 8th spot tonight, they're 375. Last time every other team reached the 300 run threshold but the Astros. It took the Astros 11 days to get to 300 runs allowed. So we'll see how this plays out, but they are a week and a half to 2 weeks better in terms of runs allowed than the rest of baseball. And that's just the second closest team, not to mention the teams that have given up 500 or more runs.
Is everybody pretty close as far as games played also?
It's getting there.
Yeah, they're finally catching up with some of those cold weather games on the East Coast and Midwest.
And the Astros have always been near the top of games played, so that makes their...
That's the only reason I ask, is because maybe there might still be some teams behind them that have more runs given up.
Yeah, it's crazy. That the runs allowed is even more impressive when you consider they played more games than most. Not only have some teams given up 500, there's a few that have given up 600 on the year.
Ooh.
All-American League teams, the Rangers, the Orioles, the White Sox, and the Royals.
A couple of Central Division teams.
There are 3 teams in the Central that are minus 100 or worse in run differential. 2-2 pitch misses to Cameron Maybin. It's 3-2. Tony would have liked that call.
Nick Lentz maintaining the integrity of his outside corner.
Goes out.
Yeah, but Maldonado does a really good job of staying quiet back there. Not a lot of body movement sometimes. Makes the pitch look better, hopefully, sometimes than it actually is. Didn't get the call.
Called third strike. Sip gets Maybin looking to end the top of the 7th. It's still an 8-4 game.
The Astros late in ball games putting it to some bullpens on this road trip. 274 batting average. The batting average with runners in scoring position. Not good overall, but from that 7th inning on against a lot of these bullpens out there on the West Coast, they stroked it at 400. They had 5 home runs and scored 16 runs. 16 runs from that 7th inning on. A lot of good come from behind wins for the Astros because of the pitching.
The bullpen spotless on that road trip. A 6-2 trip. Tonight the bullpen has allowed a couple of runs, but has been very good. Allowing just 2 runs over 5 innings. They have a 4 out of 5 shutdown innings. And the first pitch to Marwin Gonzalez hits Marwin.
That was a terrible pitch.
Well, the Astros have another leadoff runner on. They've had a leadoff runner on now 3 of the last 5 innings.
Squaring around her bunt, running in here and just tried to kick that one through the upright.
Marwin being checked over at first base. They appealed down to third, did Nick Lentz. Mark Ripperger saying that Marwin did not attempt to bunt at that pitch. Had he been ruled that he bunted at that pitch, he'd be really sore and still at home plate.
Pulls the bunt back extremely early. I'm not sure who or why wanted to check that one.
That left ankle was on the move when it got hit by that pitch.
Yeah, the only thing that went around was the left foot.
Here's Yuli Gurriel. So Marwin on base for the 2nd time. Yuli has flied to center, bounced into a fielder's choice and grounded out. Yuli hits one into center. Maben puts it away for out number 1. So Yuli 0 for 4. That'll bring up Evan Gattis, who's looking for his first hit. Gattis, a couple of strikeouts and a fly out to center field. One and one the count. Nick Vincent came on to get the final out of the 6th inning, able to strike out Alex Bregman with runners on 1st and 3rd and 2 outs. Now working his first full inning of work. Mariners go to Alex Colome and Edwin Diaz at the back end of their bullpen. Haven't needed those guys the last couple of games as they lost to the Rangers. 2-1 the count. There's a strike on the edge. It's 2-2. Evan has 1 hit against Nick Vincent. It was a home run. Sends this one high in the air to center field. Maben comes in. Cameron makes the play for the 2nd straight batter. Mentioned Maben and Verlander acquired on the same day last year by the Astros, final day of August. And earlier tonight, the A's acquiring Fernando Rodney. Trades can still be made in the month of August, but it involves players having to clear waivers. A lot of players being sent through waivers this time of the year. When teams claim them, they can be pulled back once, but not a second time. Or if they so choose, a player claim could be picked up by the other team. Tyler White deep into right field. This ball is off the fence. Marwin's going to score. Tyler White into second base. It's now a 3-run game at 8-5. White an RBI double.
Good job by Tyler staying on that cut fastball away, driving it the other way. Cutting across the plate, but keeps the barrel on plane. Shoots it over the head of Mitch Haniger out there in right field, having a tough time gauging where that was going to eventually end up. But a great read by Marwin also.
Josh Reddick announced as a pinch hitter. Zach Duke, the lefty's been warming up in the Seattle bullpen. And here comes Scott Service. Reddick pinch hitting for J.D. Davis. And he is going to go to the lefty Zach Duke. So Reddick will pinch hit against the lefty Duke when we come back in this 8-5 game. Come from behind baseball all night long. And Zach Duke takes over for Seattle.
Sidearm delivering Zach Duke, veteran in 50 games this season with Minnesota and Seattle. You see the record at 4-4, 39 innings pitched. And that whip at 1.69. Lefties are actually hitting pretty good off him at 273 and had not given up a home run to a left-handed hitter until Josh Reddick took a 3-2 pitch deep into the night at Safeco Field. I believe that might have been Zach Duke's first appearance as a Seattle Mariner also. So there's experience behind this AB right now for Josh Reddick.
Astros just down 3 now as Duke misses on the first one to Josh, pinch hitting for J.D. Davis. Astros were down 6-0, scored 2 to make it a 4-run game. And we're down 8-2 and fought back to make it a 4-run game again.
Wow, man. That's a tough corner to compete with if you're Josh Reddick.
Should be 2-0. The count.
Against left-handed hitter Zach Duke is 42% of the time with that slider, 49% with that fastball. Ooh, good swing. Good pitch to hit, too.
Josh stays alive.
Not a bad idea to try and fight that one off.
Josh 1 for 8 as a pinch hitter. Astros down 3, as close as they have been since the bottom of the first. Spoiling some 2-strike pitches here.
Seems to see the ball pretty good off Zach Duke. It was similar to the home run pitch that he got in that 3-2 count. It was just the same break on it, just down and in.
First 3 times Duke faced Reddick, he got him to ground out all 3 times. The last 3 times, Reddick has a single, a walk, and a home run. Counted in, ball 3, and the count's full on Reddick.
There we go. They're only playing Josh shifted on the right-hand side. D. Gordon playing him well over towards Ryan Healy, the first baseman. Pretty large hole. If he tries to aim for Joe West, that'll be an RBI.
Ball 4. The Astros will bring the tying run to the plate in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Martin Maldonado was scheduled to hit, but Max Stassi is coming out of the dugout to pinch hit. And out of the dugout for Seattle comes Scott Service, and he's going to go to Alex Colomé, who just started warming up when Duke came into the game. So Colomé will face Stassi as the tying run in this 8-5 contest when we come back.
On the reigning champs as they take on the Mariners in all weekend long. A limited number of tickets are still available, so get yours today at astros.com/tickets.
Astros been battling back and battling back. They have now brought the tying run to the plate for the first time tonight. Max Stassi, the pinch hitter, announced, and Alex Colomé called out of the bullpen for Seattle.
This is a very good right-hander in 51 games. He has 51 strikeouts and 48 2/3. Can get a little bit wild with those 15 walks, but 15 straight shutout appearances with that electric fastball slider mix. He's averaging 95 miles an hour on the fastball, that slider at 90, and he'll throw that slider 56% of the time to right-handed hitters.
He's not allowed a run since late June, went perfect through the month of July and into August. Max Stassi has only faced him one time, has a base hit. Stassi pinch hitting for Martin Maldonado's second consecutive pinch hitter used by A.J. Hinch. There's a ball hit hard, but on one hop to Gene Segura, they make the play on Reddick to second. And that'll do it. Stassi hit it hard, but right at the Mariners shortstop. After two pitch hitters were used in the last inning. Tony Kemp moves from right to left. Josh Reddick stays in the game and plays right field. Yuli Gurriel moves from second to third. Marwin Gonzalez from left to second, and Max Stassi, who pinch hit, stays in the game as well. So 5 different position players move around, and a new pitcher as well, Joe Smith.
Joe Smith has been pitching well of late. 37 games this season. His whip is under 1 in the opponent batting average at 194. Does so with a fastball with arm side run with that 3/4 delivery around 90 to 92 miles an hour. Also has a slider.
Smith was the winning pitcher in the Astros' victory in their last game on Tuesday. Struck out both batters he faced, Hunter Pence and Andrew McCutchen. And here he'll face D. Gordon, Mitch Haniger, and Denard Span, trying to keep this game at 8-5. D tries to bunt. Smith gets it in a hurry and has to make a quick throw in time to get the speedy D. Gordon for the first out of the 8th.
It's been an interesting night for Mitch Haniger. I'm going to draw a little bit on this just to give you an idea. Center cut right down the plate. Watch where some of these pitches are. Almost middle with that one on the outside portion of the plate. For his second hit, that double. Goes out and gets a slider, yanks it into the left field corner, and another fastball that he goes out and gets. So it kind of gives you an idea of where Mitch Haniger is getting a lot of those pitches, getting those arms extended on some of the outside pitches. This should be a little bit different matchup with Joe Smith really running that fastball in on the hands.
Fastball in, slider away, and there is that fastball in. It's 1-0. Haniger, a season-high 4 hits, had a 5-hit game last year in late September against the Angels on the road. Home run, double, double, and single. Knocked in 2, he scored 2. Mitch Haniger batting leadoff for the first time in his career. And I would assume Scott Service will keep him there again tomorrow.
Might be a good idea.
There's a strike. It's 2-1. Two and 2 the count. Joe Smith, the 4th reliever used, the 5th pitcher for the Astros. Brad Peacock, Will Harris, Tony Sipp preceded him out of the bullpen. Swing and a foul tip caught by Stassi. Haniger retires for the first time tonight.
Nice pitching. Joe Smith beats him with the fastball in. Holds that 2-seam grip, also trying to create a little more movement to that inside corner. Good pitch.
There's a good slider that catches the outside corner. 0-1. Art Span 2 for 2. A sacrifice fly his last time up. He has driven in 3 runs. Joe ahead 0-2.
Pretty filthy sliders back to back.
Into shallow left field. Tony Kemp will play it on a hop. Denard Span with an 0-2 base hit. Span's 3rd hit of the night. He's a double away from the cycle. Here's Gene Segura, triple away from the cycle.
Joe missed a spot. But Denard Span did a good job of gently massaging that the other way.
Strike call on Segura. Only time Segura was retired was a nice play by Tony Kemp, leaping for a catch in right field. Segura has a home run, 2 runs scored, 2 runs driven in. And again, Smith ahead 0-2. Stassi might want that sweeping slider away, and he gets it. Swing and a miss. Segura goes down swinging. Couple of strikeouts in the inning for Joe Smith, and we head to the bottom of the 8th. 3 times tonight, including a bunt base hit where he really showed elite speed getting up that line at over 30 feet per second.
Yeah, why wouldn't you bunt a couple more times if you're Jake Marisnick? He's got things going in the right direction with that average popping up since his recall. It's a nice weapon to have to be able to lay down a not so perfect bunt and be able to get down to first base with elite speed.
Right now with Derek Fisher on the roster, Jake is not the fastest Astro on the StatCast Sprint leaderboard, but he's right there in second place. Jake showing off those wheels in his lone official at bat. He's also walked twice tonight. Plummer said it's been a little more than a year since Jake walked twice. Now he'll really have to hustle on a ground ball towards D. Gordon, and D. Gordon fumbles it. That's what that elite speed can do, put a little pressure on the D.
That is exactly right, TK. You can see him rush in to try and make that play. Usually a reliable second baseman. But knowing that it wasn't hit that hard, he had to come get it and had to be quick with the hands because Jake is hustling down there. Just lost the handle. Now you've got the leadoff man on.
And you've got the hottest Astro tonight at the plate in Tony Kemp. Be an error on D. Gordon allowing Jake to reach first. The Astros have a leadoff runner on again for the last 6 innings. Kemp swings the first pitch and pops one up into left field. New left fielder for the Mariners is Guillermo Heredia. And he puts it away for out number 1. Kemp retired for the first time. Heredia taking over for Denard Span after Span's last at bat. And here's Alex Bregman. Been a frustrating night for Alex, even though he had a leadoff base hit in this game in the bottom of the first. He's also come up with runners on second and third, nobody out in the third. Second and third, nobody out in the fifth. And first and third, 2 outs in the sixth. And he has not been able to drive in a run tonight. Colome's last outing coming against the Rangers 3 nights ago. He threw 28 pitches, working over an inning in that outing. Inning and 2/3 on August the 6th. Colome's had plenty of outings this year where he's gone more than an inning. Nobody up in the Mariners bullpen here. Called strike. It's 1-1. Colome throws that slider around 88, 89. The fastball in around 95. Came over in that same trade that brought Denard Span over from Tampa Bay. He led all of Major League Baseball last year, Colome, in saves with Tampa Bay. Now he's the setup guy for Edwin Diaz, who's leading all of Major League Baseball in saves this year. On the ground, just foul down the third baseline. Bregman bidding for extra bases. Now hopefully the Astros can come all the way back in this game, down 6 a couple of times. Even if they do not make the full comeback, they've at least forced Scott Servais to use the back end of his bullpen in the first game of a 4-game series, which could pay off later on. Two and two the count. 34,970 tonight. We're expecting big crowds throughout the weekend. Legends Weekend. Astros alumni 30+ will be on hand for the weekend. That ball gets away. Marisnik will advance to second base. Well, Bregman will end up batting for the 4th consecutive time with a runner in scoring position.
Pulled that slider. And again, when these guys are throwing sliders 88, 90 miles an hour, it's tough for these catchers to move their feet quick enough to block that. But Zunino opting for the glove save, and it still gets away.
Bregman into left field, got under this one a bit. Heredia is there. And Alex is retired for the 2nd out of the inning. Marisnik's been on base all 4 times tonight, reaching the last time on an error. He's at second with 2 outs. Here's Marwin. He was hit by pitches last time up and came around to score a run, 1 for 3. Marwin drove in 2 runs, scored a run in this game. Takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. On the ground towards first, fielded there by Healy. He will race to the bag himself. And that'll do it for the Astros in the 8th. 1 man left on base. We head to the 9th. It's 8-5.
Road trip. Which player or group was the MVP of the road trip? And 50% of you gave the nod to Marwin Gonzalez. And why not? What a terrific trip he had, going 9 for 30 with a double, 4 homers. Just an incredible road trip for him. Bullpen came in second, TK. Good for Marwin.
Marwin really got the job done in that big 3-1 win on Monday night against the Giants, hitting that 3-run home run. And not only did it give a win to the Astros in that game, but it gave a win to Roberto Osuna in his first outing with Houston, and now he's on for his 2nd appearance.
Through an inning for the Houston Astros, and that was pretty much about it. Threw 5 pitches, and they were all strikes.
Started Starts off Nelson Cruz with a swinging strike. It's 0-1. Soon his first appearance in an Astros uniform here at Minute Maid Park. Cruz 1 for 4, an RBI single his first time up. Two and 1 the count to Cruz.
Osuna averages 95 miles an hour with his fastball. Good slider at 87. Also cuts it every once in a while and has a changeup.
Two and 2 the count. Into right field, long run for Reddick, and he will get there just on the foul line for the first out.
And now it's time for Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Tony is Kempin tonight, getting the start against a tough left-handed pitcher in James Paxton. Bounced to double his first AB. Next time up, takes a fastball going the other way. He's also having a good time out there in right field, laying out to make that catch. But that was a big AB at the moment, looping that line drive, knocking James Paxton out of the game with that 2 RBI base hit.
Big game for Kemp, who has moved from right field to left field in this contest. He's going to shift back a little bit with Kyle Seager batting in an 0-1 count. Astros will have their 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up in the last inning. At one point tonight, they brought the tying run to the plate. Max Stassi, as a pinch hitter, hit the ball hard with 2 runners on and 2 outs in the 7th, but he hit it right at Gene Segura to end that rally. But they have been playing catch up throughout after a 3-run first for the Mariners, followed up by a 3-run second. Seattle added 2 more in the 6th inning. Bullpen has had 5 of 6 shutdown innings. This ball is hammered to right, but Seager hooked it foul. 2 and 2. Seattle able to get a couple of runs in the 6th inning, in the 2nd inning of work of Will Harris. Harris pitched 2 innings. Peacock pitched 2 innings. Justin Verlander 2 innings and was ejected. Tony Sipp an inning. Joe Smith an inning. And now Roberto Osuna. Ball's hit hard and past the shift into right field. Kyle Seager on base for the 2nd consecutive time. He's 2 for 5.
Tough outing for Justin, going only those 2 innings, giving up 6 runs. Took his ERA from 2.19 to 2.50.
Coming into this game, Verlander had better numbers in ERA, WHIP, walks and hits divided by innings pitched. Strikeouts, he was on pace for his new career high, still is. But he had career numbers in every category, and that changed, at least with the ERA after this game. 2011 AL MVP and Cy Young year will be a little bit better after 25 starts than this one. Here's Mike Zunino on the ground towards short. To Marwin for 1. Marwin takes his time with Zunino running and makes a good throw to first. So the Astros down 3, head to the bottom half of the 9th. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by Jack in the Box. Try something different like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls for a limited time. We head to the bottom half of the ninth inning. Game has gone over 3.5 hours so far, and the Astros will try and get a little rally going against perhaps the best closer in the game right now, Edwin Diaz.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tough against Edwin Diaz. In 55 games, 42 saves in 45 opportunities, 91 strikeouts are most among American League relievers. He has struck out 91 of 208 hitters he's faced. That's 43.8% of the time he is finishing off an out with a strikeout.
57-0 when leading after 8. Only the Oakland A's, the team just ahead of the Mariners for the second wild card spot. Also perfect after 8. They are 55-0. Well, Diaz faces Yuli Gurriel, Evan Gattis, and Tyler White. Astros have had the leadoff base runner on in 5 of their last, check that, 4 of their last 6 innings. Really down to the count, 1-2. And a foul tip caught by Zunino. Yuli with an 0 for 5 night as he goes down on strikes for the first out of the bottom of the ninth. Here's Evan Gattis. Gattis also looking for his first hit. He has struck out a couple of times and flied to center twice. Diaz with 42 saves. It's not even close. For the next closest in the major leagues, you have to go to Craig Kimbrell, who has 33. Astros trying to buck the odds against Diaz and the Mariners. And Diaz gets Evan Gattis and makes quick work of the first 2 batters he faces with a couple of strikeouts. And Diaz will now face Tyler White with the bases empty and 2 outs. Mariners are 50-0 when Diaz enters the game with a lead this year. And there's a strike. Just pounding that strike zone, 7 of 8 pitches in the zone. And ahead of White 0-2. Alex Colomé with an inning and a third. Allowed 1 runner to reach base on an error, but did not allow a hit or a walk. And now Edwin Diaz allows a deep fly ball off the bat of Tyler White. This ball's gone. 0-2 pitch. Tyler White hits one out. The great white shark with home runs in back-to-back games.
He's taking some bites out of some flamethrowers. That was a slider that he got a hold of. Way too good a pitch in a 2-strike count. Gearing up for 99 to 100 possibly, and that was just a slider up on a tee at 90 miles an hour. See the eyes light up of Tyler White. Ball was ripped.
So here's Josh Reddick. Astros need 1 more base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. Diaz starts Reddick out with a strike. Josh walked as a pinch hitter his last time up, down to the count here, 0-2. And Reddick goes down swinging. Diaz ends up striking out 3. Tyler White gets the 3rd home run of the season against Diaz, but not enough. The Astros down early in this one, trying to battle back, but they lose tonight by the final score of 8-6. They are now 4.5 games ahead of Oakland and 7 games ahead of Seattle in the American League West. We will have more with a post-game show coming up right around the corner.